Hello!
Komşu.
Hello, komşu!
Komşu, yeah.
Arkadaş!
Arkadaş. Good to see you, Ivan.
Buyurun! Çok güzel, I know.
Çok güzel.
This is everything I know in Turkey.
Okay, that's good. You are doing well, Ivan?
Yeah, huh?
You are doing well.
Okay,
We are recording, right?
Yeah, I started recording now. And first, I would like to welcome you in UFO Disclosure, Bulgaria.
Wow, great.
And we have here our friend from Turkey, from Istanbul. Can you introduce yourself? Actually, I don't know how to introduce. Are you director of this series?
I am the founder. Yeah, I am the founder and president.
Okay.
Of Sirius UFO Research Center, Space and Science Research Center, which was established. My name is Hактан Akdogан.
Okay.
And this research center we established in 1995, almost like 13 years ago, in Turkey. But my interest in the subject goes back to when I was like 7-8 years old, when I was watching Star Trek.
Okay.
I was so fascinated by that show, and it took my attention, and I was so impressed and watching the sci-fi books and movies and reading sci-fi books. Then when I went to study after high school, and I came to the United States for university, to New York, I started doing a lot of research about this phenomenon all over.
What did you study in New York?
I studied art.
Okay.
But I was always involved with this subject, UFOs and spirituality, all this stuff. So from 1985 to 1996, I stayed in the United States, 8 years in New York and 3 years in Los Angeles. Then, of course, during that time, I did a lot of research about this phenomenon, a lot of documentaries, books, and going to a lot of conferences, meeting a lot of pioneer researchers. Mm-hmm. And more you get into this, more it attracts you, it gets you into
something like a fire.
Exactly. Same to you. It happened to you. So it's a very interesting subject. It's very, very important for the mankind, for this planet, for the evolution of the planet, where our place in the universe and everything. And when I went back to Turkey in 1996, in 1995 and 1996, I established this research center in order to educate my own people in Turkey, because I was noticing when I was traveling to Turkey during that period of time I was staying there, nothing was happening. There were no research centers, there were no TV shows about it. So I felt sorry about Turkish people also, because they need to know the truth about this phenomenon. So I said, I'm going to go back to Turkey. I'm going to do what I do right now. I'm going to inform and educate people about this.
How many people was with you in the beginning?
We were like, of course, in order to establish this research center, you have to have at least 7 people in the board. So we were, of course, 7. Now we are like a lot of thousands of people, because a lot of volunteers.
How many is now?
We have thousands of people, because there's so much interest in UFO phenomena in Turkey. But the first thing we did TV show about UFOs when I first moved there, on a national TV. I did like 52 episodes in 3 different national TV. That was a smart thing to do, because when you do a TV show, it was every week on a national TV, you get a lot of attraction. Okay, the ratings were up and everything. So people, they know you, they know your research center. So what happens that you built your constitution, your institution and everything quite fast. And also when people, they see something in the sky,
they call you.
They call you because they know where to call.
Yes.
Because you're a known personality, a public figure. So that's what happened. And we start also organizing international conferences in Turkey. We did like 6 international conferences with thousands of attendees. Each conference we have between 2,000 to 5,000 people coming in.
Turkish?
Yeah, Turkey and about like
Yeah.
neighboring countries.
Yeah.
I had privilege to have all the pioneer researchers coming to Turkey, from Eric von Däniken to John Mack, Bud Hopkins, everybody, you name it. They all came to my conferences. Of course, we knew each other through, the United States, all the work that we were doing together. And that also helped a lot to increase the knowledge, the consciousness, the information about this phenomena. So then after that, we start doing exhibitions, UFO and alien exhibitions, on mobile, like a big truck we converted into museum, we did it in the tent. Also, we had several exhibitions traveling throughout Turkey in order to inform and educate people about the subject. And so we keep doing what we do.
So you're the only one in Turkey who dealing with this?
This kind of course, there are a lot of
other organizations.
Not organizations, mostly like websites.
Okay.
But we are the most serious and
Are
most
they jealous with you?
No, why should they be?
Because that happened in Bulgaria. That's why I'm asking. And because we're neighbors, I said because we're balcony, probably you have the same attractions like us.
Yeah, but that happens. Of course, we are talking about humans. Humans has all kinds of feelings. But the thing is we are the pioneer group, We are more respected. We also start ufology and exopolitical courses in the university.
So I'm a Muslim. So if you look to the Quran, as far as I know, it is written that God said, we have created many worlds. It means there isn't only one world, our world. It could be other worlds.
Bu evrende bizler Tanrı'nın sadece
I believe that God provided life not just for us, but also for the many others, like extraterrestrials.
It is quite problematic to open a course based on an unscientific activity. I think it will hurt the credibility of Akdeniz University.
Courses in a university. This is the
How that happened?
breakthrough stuff, mainstream stuff. And
So
how that happened? We were invited, me and my vice president, Erhan Kolbaşı, he's a good guy too. He's writing a lot of books on the subject too. He's working with us. We were asked to give lectures in a university.
Okay.
Conference.
Okay.
Just a simple, basic conference. We went up there, it was like 800 people. But we were invited by a professor of this university. It wasn't just students who invited us, it was the professor who was interested in the subject.
Yeah.
So after this conference, it was a one-day conference, like 2-3 hours. He invited us back 3 months later for another one. So we went again. We were so excited because this professor is inviting us to his university to give lectures to students and also to some teachers as well. So after that conference, the second one, he talked to us. He says that I want to start ufology courses here in this university. I'm going to talk to the head of the university. I'm going to make sure this is happening because this is the most important subject.
Did you get support from Ministry of Education? If you have that ministry, I don't know.
No, he had to ask the head of the university, another professor.
Is it a private university or?
No, state-owned university.
Okay.
Like 30,000 students. It's one of the largest universities and most respected
Which city is that?
In Antalya.
Okay.
In Mediterranean coast.
Yeah.
By the
Antalya is famous place
it's
for.
famous for touristic.
Right.
So after he spoke with his head of the university, another professor, the chairman of the university, he accepted also. They invite us to speak, to have a meeting with the chairman of the university. Me along with my colleague, what we did, we had a meeting with the chairman of the university for 20 minutes in his room. He was so excited because he had an encounter. He had seen a UFO. He shared it with us, the chairman of the university. So he said, okay, let's go, let's start this courses. So it's been 3-4 months that we're giving classes. It's so exciting because this is first time in the mainstream scientific circle accepted this as a course in their regular studies, ufology and exopolitica. So this is a breakthrough stuff, and it was all over on the news, on Newsweek, in all.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, and also in Turkey.
I saw that.
We're quite excited. You seen the?
Yeah, I saw Newsweek. Yeah.
So it's quite a good development for.
What was the most exciting case you investigated?
For us, I mean, there's...
Or everything is exciting.
Everything is exciting, and everything is not exciting afterwards, because you know that they are here, we've been visited throughout history of mankind, there's abduction cases, there's contactees, there is so many evidence from old times to present. So there is very close range encounters with military bases, military personnel, Air Force pilots. We have now over 60 pilots and high-rank generals and radar operators from Turkey.
And they open to talk with you?
After they retire, they talk about
it. Okay.
During they work in the army, in their state, they're not allowed to speak about it, because there's some rules. It's all right.
National security.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
But after they get retired, they come forward
and talking
on TV. We go on TV all the time, on national TV. Once, twice a month, we go on national TV.
You still have this program? Or?
We don't have a program, but we get invited to other news programs, other any kind of show programs to talk about, because it gets when we are on TV, their rating and watching figures are so high, because people get a lot of interest about the subject, so they invite us very often. So most of the time when we go, we take our pilots, the generals, the high-rank officials with us.
Solid persons.
Yeah, because they talk about their encounter during this live show on TVs and everything. So this is always very important, because they're very credible people.
Right.
When they explain and they talk about their experience with all the details and everything, so it makes more, serious.
Can you reveal a little bit more about this Kumburgaz, if I say correctly, case?
The Kumburgaz case became famous because as a night shot, one of the best night shots ever, because you don't just see the crowd, you see
Muflon confirmed that is real.
Not just Muflon, a lot of institutions, scientific
Turkish institution also.
Turkish institution, this one is very important, because this is the highest scientific institution owned by the state, by the Turkish Republic of Turkey.
Yeah.
And a lot of high-rank scientists, senior scientists, they work there. What happened was, this is an interesting story. When Kumburgaz case came to us, we went to investigate, and we got the footages, we analyzed them frame by frame, all the pixels and everything. We knew that it was definitely real.
I have this report. I saw it.
Oh, great. Perfect. And also, there are multiple witnesses. Witnesses are very important, very credible people. So we talk all of them, because they are from the same area. They also witness these sightings, because it went on few times, a couple of years in a row, and several times. So, and we held a press conference about this case, because it's very strong, a lot of witnesses, great footage, it's been analyzed and everything. So it was all over on the news and the press and the media. So some scientists, skeptics, they made a comment to some TV guys and the newspapers, saying that this cannot be real. It's bullshit, they are faking people. So one of the TV guys, non-TV guy, invited them and us to his TV show to talk about the case. We went, they came too, scientists, they confronted us. And during the TV show, the guy kept saying this cannot be real. I said, first of all, have you analyzed the footage? No. Have you spoken with the witnesses? No. Okay, how can you be, as a scientist, so close-minded. If there is a case, you have to investigate it first before you come to any conclusion. I said, I'm going to give you this chance. I hand him, during the live show on national TV, the original footage. I told him, you get it analyzed in your laboratories. And the guy who was running the show, he got so, because it was happening during his show, he says, we're gonna follow this case. We go to your institutions, to laboratories, to follow what's gonna come out from your testing.
Right.
So, I was great. So, the following few days later, we went all together with the cameras to that institution, scientific institution.
What did they say?
They didn't let us in their rooms that they analyzed it, but we went in the area. All the cameras were shooting. So they analyzed it. They came up with the same conclusion as we did. They said, because they had to sign and stamp it saying that this footage is not fake. There is something on, but they didn't say it was a UFO with by aliens. But they used the term of UFO saying unidentified flying object. They weren't allowed to say that it was from space, from other beings, craft or whatever.
Right.
But still using the same word as we did, like as a UFO. So it was a great success for us. So that made the headline again, because the most respected institution, scientific institution, came up with the same solution. Then after that, I give this to Yuri Geller. He got it investigated and analyzed it in Germany. And a couple of other guys, one in Portugal, one in Chile, Carlos, I forgot his name, he's a video analyzer, footage analyzer, all came up with the same conclusion as this: a genuine footage, which is real, there is a craft that they couldn't identify. So.
By the way, I'm not sure if I saw something more clear like your video in the world for UFO, because your video show, you can see exactly the figures inside.
Yeah, that's what makes this case very important.
Right, and I haven't seen something like this in the worldwide.
In ufology, this became one of the best footages in ufology because of that, as you mentioned. It's a very good point, because you don't just see the craft.
Yeah, you see inside.
You see inside. You see some silhouettes and some shapes.
Right.
Some figures.
Yeah.
So also the structure. So it's a very metallic structure. Very interesting case. So it's still people they talk about it. It's been like 10 days.
This is the legend.
One of the like 2007, 8, and 10. 7, 8, and 9. So it has been almost 10 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, very good case.
And what about this abduction?
Yeah, abduction phenomenon.
Many people speculating with this. They say, I was abducted just to be famous, to be shown in the TV or somewhere. Of course,
there's always people like that.
Yeah. How you know who is real witness of this?
What we do is, our cases, we do cross-checking, we do the background, we see if this guy...
Medical records, maybe.
Medical records, of course, it's very important. And we go under hypnotic regression, we put them in a deep trance. And they go to that time that they're being abducted, being up in the ship. And
you mean the regression? You mean the psycho-regression?
Regression, yeah.
Okay.
Deep regression, that because they don't remember the whole scenario.
Yes.
They just have some flashbacks, when you put them into hypnosis regression, with all the details, they tell you what's going on in the craft. Sometimes they get some telepathic information from these aliens, the beings, that they're doing some experiment on them. So we have some strong cases. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, Sunday morning, during my presentation, I'm going to be sharing some of them.
How many real abductions you had? I mean, reported?
We had over 800 cases, and we so far we did research on 300 cases, but only 35 or 40 of them were genuine. The other ones were like, we weren't sure about it.
Okay.
But there must be much more than, of course. Because some people, they think they are having a dream. They don't know it's real.
Yeah.
So they don't want to report it. Because these guys, the aliens, they take you during a sleep dream state. So this way you don't get scared. You think it's a dream. It's an astral plane. It's another part of consciousness level. So most people, they don't report it. And also some, they're scared of being ridiculed or from their job and their, their family, their
We're going
friends.
to say the neighbors, the friends.
The social reaction
Right.
they will get from
Right.
other people. So that's the other reason. But we get more cases we are getting right now about the abduction cases.
How many reports you have for sightings with UFOs? I mean, which kinds?
Yearly,
First, second, third?
Yeah, yearly we receive, monthly we receive almost like 700 to 1500 reports. But
all over the Turkey?
All over Turkey. During the summertime it raises to 2,000, 3,000 a month. This is reports.
Just reports without pictures?
Some,
anything?
I'm gonna say, maybe 10-15% of them with footages. Some video camera, like movies, some like still
Pictures.
photos, pictures.
Okay.
Most of them are during at night taken, during night time, but some during broad daylight. And also, all these photos, when we analyze them, only 8 to 10 or 11% of them are genuine. The rest becomes like misidentification, Venus, stars, Chinese lantern, or balloon, weather balloon, or atmospheric phenomenon. But 8 to 11% makes like hundreds of cases a year. So that's why we get also, which I'll be showing during the conference, a lot of videos and pictures during daytime, great photos. And so it's happening a lot in Turkey, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen other countries. It's happening all over. Our only chance that we have is we are very known in Turkey, so people, when they see something strange, they report us.
Yeah.
They don't keep it to yourself, because then they know where to report it. So that because we are very popular, very public institution and figures, so we receive a lot of stuff.
You have a UFO museum in Istanbul?
Yeah, we have museum which travels to spa shopping malls. We used to have a stable, permanent museum. Now we are taking that to a tour, different parts. But right now, I am working, this is the first time I am saying this in public to your viewers, because you are a special guy and we are good friends and I like you. We are going to build a museum in Los Angeles. In a couple of months, we are getting the place. We already started about 13 months ago to build all the artifacts, the replicas, the models, everything is being... We've been working on this project for 14 months now. So we're gonna do it in America, in Los Angeles, and we are so excited about it. Probably within a year, it's gonna be a grand opening. So you're gonna be for...
Yeah, but you're still going to keep this in Istanbul.
Oh yeah, the one in Istanbul is gonna be...
So Bulgarians can come.
Bulgarians always can come. The neighbors will come to. We are open to Bulgarians.
Okay. What do you think about disclosure, when that will happen? Who is going to make that?
Yeah,
the government, the scientists, or social media?
Social media and the public. I don't think any government is going to come up with this information. No way. Because if they do, this will change every institution. Will cause a lot of turmoil. That's what they think. The politics system will collapse. All the belief system will collapse. all the bank system, money system, all the capitalist system will collapse. So they don't want this because they run the show. They gain fame, money through these politicians and, you know, belief system they use this. So they don't want this to be over. I think the aliens also, they come here with a plan. They don't just come here to show themselves. They have a cosmic plan. I think they're increasing public consciousness by showing them. So, and with the internet getting widespread right now, so the increase of the public consciousness and about this has gone quite up. And more in each year is gonna go faster and faster, and at a certain point, when the general public consciousness is ready, they will show more clearly themselves. I think we still have ahead at least 15 to 25 years ahead of us for this to happen. But I don't think during this any period, any government, Trump or Obama didn't do it, Trump will never do it, any other government is not going to come any forward. So this is about the public who's going to do this change, who's going to make this happen. So for us as UFO researchers and enthusiasts, we have a mission to fulfill. For every being who has done sighting or didn't do any sighting, doesn't matter, was a believer or not. We have to let people know around us about this reality, because this is going to increase a lot of consciousness, and also it's going to make us think a very broader way that what we are and where our place is in the universe, and also we are all earthlings in this planet, sharing the planet. Why we are going through all these fights and wars and terror and all this distraction in the ecological system and everything. So what will make this change is the UFO disclosure, because people will get closer to each other, the countries will get closer to each other. I mean, we're gonna think like we are all earthlings and sharing and being here all together. So let's stop our fighting, let's put our energy for the development of resources, new free energy, all these things. Then will happen, this contact will happen, and we'll get a lot of information from aliens, and we'll be an intergalactic family with them. So that's why this subject is just so important for the evolution of mankind and for the evolution of this planet. So that's why we are here and doing all this work all together, doing conferences, TV shows and museums and exhibitions. The only goal is to increase the public consciousness, because we are all here together as humans, as galactic beings. That's very important.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and you're our friend in Bulgaria, and we'll be very happy to have you in some future conference for UFO.
Thank you so much, Ivan. It was my pleasure. It was. I say hi to everyone in Bulgaria when we're expecting them to come to our museum in Istanbul, to our conferences, and to follow you with the ladies about UFOs.
Do you want to say in Bulgarian, заповядайте?
Заповядайте.
Yes.